Hello, YouTube team. Hope you're having a great day. And I'd like to first convey my best wishes and fondest regard to all the veterans out there. I know some of you that do visit have either served in your nation's services or have family members who have. So let me thank you for their service and with my compliments. So today's daily dose, obviously I wanted to relate to the time. And so on November 10th, 1775, Continental Congress passed a resolution stating that 2 battalions of Marines be raised for service as landing forces for the recently formed Continental Navy. Thus, the Marine Corps was born. On May 13th, 1938, on the 11th of November, the day following, each year was made a legal holiday. It was called Armistice Day, and it was dedicated to the cause of world peace and to remind us of the great cost of the World War I. And then in the 83rd Congress, at the urging of veteran service organizations, amended the act and took out the name Armistice, the word Armistice, and put in veteran. So in 1954, the day became Veterans Day, and that's the history and the association between the Marine Corps birthday on the 10th and Veterans Day on the 11th. So it's a very, compelling time, historic time for our nation and for our veterans and their families. And we appropriately celebrate all the armed services throughout the years. Each of them have kind of an anniversary date, and we want to always honor veterans, but particularly on this day, set it aside to honor those who serve to ensure life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. And even when our society fails to live up to those ideals, American warfighters have always been there on the job in hopes that our society would one day be genuinely true to the ideals that we were sworn to protect. It's important to point out, though, we don't celebrate Veterans Day to celebrate war. It's a day dedicated to the cause of world peace. And Veterans Day, Armistice Day, and Veterans Day really was a day first dedicated to world peace. And I think it's particularly poignant for Christian worldwide, but specifically for them in the U.S. to remember that. Please remember, dear Christian friends, Christ didn't call us to war. He called us to peace, to be peacemakers. And he blessed those who were peacemakers. And he's very clear about this. In John 18:36 said, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would fight." He said, but my kingdom is not from here. Remember, we're not called to fight the secular world or the political system thereof for our rights. We're not called to be belligerents in the political minutia and the red versus blue and the Republicans versus Dems. We're not called to that. We're not in a contest, a material contest, a temporal contest for control of a temporary country and a temporary political system. St. Francis Assisi, he explained our calling this way. He said, "Lord, make me an instrument of peace, of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love." Now, I'm not naive or simple-minded about the subject of war and peace. I sadly have a lot of experience there. So please, let me just call us to be above the means of hate and violence in our pursuit of peace, particularly with those of our household and our local communities. The Trappist monk Thomas Merton said, he gives really good advice about this. He said, "Peace demands the most heroic effort and the most difficult sacrifice. It demands greater heroism than love, or war, it demands greater heroism than love. It demands greater fidelity to the truth and a much more perfect conscience." And to that, I'd add or remind you of Elie Wiesel. He was a Nobel laureate and a Holocaust survivor. And he said it this way. He said, it's important that mankind remember that peace is not God's gift to his creatures. It's our gift to one another. So, blessings and best wishes on Veterans Day to all our veterans. Happy birthday to our, belated birthday to our Corps. But for Christians, please, please, please be peacemakers. Start in your home, go out to your community, and then in every way possible, make peace a way in the world. Y'all have a great day. See you next time.